Hey everybody, this is Tom at Buxton Auto in Fate, Texas. Thanks for finding my video. If you like what you see, I wouldn't mind a like and a subscribe. If you want to leave a comment down below, that certainly helps me out with the algorithm. I own a small buy here, pay here car lot. I sell, 3 or 4 cars at a time. And I put out videos about car titles, car issues, buying cars, selling cars, walk around videos of the cars that I have. Today's video is about pricing used cars and negotiating with dealerships or individuals and why car prices can vary so much. One of the comments I get often from people is the car dealer screws you. They charge you too much for the car. They want $10,000 for the car and you can buy that car on Craigslist for $8,000. And there's some validity to that. However, it's not necessarily a screw job, and here's one of the things that I wanted to talk about. Let's start with newer cars. If you buy a new car from a dealer, the price is the price, you negotiate, you've got a warranty, you're done. New car. If you buy a 2, 3, 4-year-old car from a dealer, it's a trade-in, they're selling it, it's a franchise dealer, meaning a Ford dealer, Chevy dealer, whatever. Maybe they have this car listed for $24,000 and you can find the car on Craigslist for $21,000. Does that mean that that dealer is screwing you because his price is $3,000 higher? Usually not. And here's some things to consider. One, that franchise dealer selling a used car on his lot is not selling a piece of shit car. They're going to have their service department go through it, make sure the belts and hoses are good, the engine's serviced, the brakes are good, maybe it had tires that it needed, so they put tires on it. And all those things add a cost to the vehicle. So when you buy it from them, in general, you are getting a good put together product that doesn't really need anything. Now you might find a car of like model and year and miles on Craigslist for $20,000, $21,000. So $3,000 or $4,000 cheaper. But here are some things you should consider. One, is the car been maintained? Is all the maintenance been done? Does the car need tires? Things like that that will cost you money to increase your cost in that car. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, what about the title? If that person financed that car and they still owe on it, they do not have the title in their hand. So if you're paying cash, how are you getting the title? Well, they have to sell the car to you. They have to let you deal with their lender. Their lender has to get the title to you. They have to then sign said title. And so the title work can be difficult or more time consuming, or you've handed over a bunch of money to clear that lien and you're going to hope and pray that that lender gets the title to you in a timely manner and it all works out. So that can cause some concerns. Whereas if you bought it from the used car dealer, he's already done that. He paid that car off. He waited for the title to come to him. Now he's ready to sell that car and go to the county and do your paperwork for you. And you're just going to get your license plates in the mail and be done. So that's not so bad. The next thing you got to think about is we as dealers, we're allowed to make a profit. That is why businesses exist, because they're going to provide a service, and for that service, they're going to make a profit. That is the reality. Nobody's screwing anybody. They're going to tell you a price, and then your choice is yes or no. That's the only two choices, yes or no. If you said yes, you didn't get screwed, you said yes. So that's the newer cars. Most of the cars that I sell here at Buxton Auto are $3,000 to $5,000, $6,000 on average. And the reason I sell those kind of cars is I have found there are a lot more people that have $3,000 to $5,000 to buy a car than there are people that have $10,000 to buy a car. When you get to the $10,000 mark, a lot of those people are going to the bank and borrowing the money. And if they can go to the bank and borrow the money, then they can go anywhere to buy a $10,000 car. But the people that have $3,000 to $5,000, that may be all they have, or maybe they don't have that at all, but they have $1,000 or $2,000 to put down on a car. So those are the cars that I buy because they turn over quickly. How do I here at Buxton Auto price my cars? Well, honestly, there are guidebooks that dealers have. There's Black Book, there's Blue Book, there's NADA, there's Cars.com. There's tons of different systems. Here's the system that I use, and it's really basic. When I buy a car, I go on Craigslist and I put in search criteria very similar to my car, and I see what those prices are. And then when I go to Facebook Marketplace, I do the same thing. My price is going to be upper middle top. If it's 1 to 100, 100 being the most expensive car, 1 being the least expensive car that's of that comparable value, my car is going to be in the 75 to 90% range, depending on how clean it is. And then I'm financing it. And of course, I need to make a profit. I don't want my car to be way more expensive than you could go buy it on the street for. But let's be honest, it has to be a higher price because I need to make a profit. People think the dealers are making thousands and thousands of dollars on these cars, particularly like my $3,000 to $5,000 cars. What do you think my markup is on a car that I'm selling it for $4,000? What do you think we make on these cars? Okay, so when people will Facebook message you, you've got the car listed for $3,000, and they message you $2,000 cash right now. Whatever. That's all I can say. Whatever. So understand, when you're buying from a dealer, you're not getting screwed. You have the choice to buy the car or not buy the car. This is the price. Your solution is say yes, take the car, or no, don't take the car, go hunt down a better value. But remember, price is not the only indicator of value. Does the car need a bunch of work? Does it need struts? Does it need tires? Does it need belts and hoses? Does the air conditioner work? The older the car gets, the more those prices are fluid. The more price is not an indicator of value because of the amount of work that might be in it. When people message me because they have a car to sell, they tell me, hey, I got a 2005 Honda Accord. What can I get for it? That doesn't help me at all. Because, when the car gets to be 15 years old, there's good ones and there's terrible ones. There's grandma's car with 50,000 miles on it, and there's a 12-owner car with 250,000 on it. So that is something to consider when looking at price. That's all I'm saying. Also, when you're buying a car, if you look on the federally mandated buyer's guide, that's that form that says as is, no warranty, or yes, there is a warranty. When you read that, it actually literally says on there, ask to take the car to an independent shop to be looked at. I have never had someone do that. You're welcome to do that here, and you're welcome to do that at any dealer. Why? Because we want you to be happy with your purchase. We want you to know what you might be getting into when you buy a used car. That buyer's guide on the back page actually lists probably 30 different things that wear out on used cars that could potentially cost you money. And that's something to be aware of. So there's never harm in taking a car to a shop to get looked at. Most dealers, the price is the price, and we know it's going to sell for that price. The only difference is it going to sell to you or not to you? You as the consumer, it gives you the idea that this is the price. I may or may not be able to negotiate much based on what my mechanic found, but it gives me a peace of mind that either, hey, this is a good car, or hey, I need to plan to spend X number of dollars on this car as time goes by. Another thing that people sometimes don't think about, and dealers get quite frustrated by, is the cheaper the car, the higher the expectation. And what I mean by that is generally people that are looking at a $2,000 Honda Accord have an expectation that is just as high as the $8,000 Honda Accord. Consumers sometimes have a disconnect that for the price, you don't get the value that you get with the $8,000 car. So I tell everybody, any used car you buy is going to need something. Just be prepared for that. If the car is $1,000 down at the buy here, pay here dealer, and you only have $1,000, I probably wouldn't do it. And the reason I probably wouldn't do it is I know that inevitably Murphy's Law is going to hit and you're going to need a repair. So unless you have a little money held back, because you will need a repair, I would probably wait. And that's not me being a jerk. That's not me trying to dissuade people from buying a car. What I say it is it is setting people up for success. When you buy the car from either a buy here, pay here dealer or a conventional dealer that's getting you bank financing, everyone involved wants you to keep that car, like that car, and pay that car off. And we know, particularly in buy here, pay here, if the car shits out, chances elevate greatly that you're just going to give the car back. And we're going to have to start over. We're going to have to go get the car. We're going to have to go fix the car. We're going to put the car back up for sale. That all takes time and money. So if you're buying a used car, the cheaper the car is, I understand people are gathering all the money they have. They're desperate. They need to get a car. But try to hold back some money for a repair, or at minimum, know immediately after you get that car and you've gotten that job and you're able to start driving and living, that you need to start rat holing some money, because repairs are going to happen. Cars will always, well, I won't say always, cars are generally going to be a little bit more expensive from a dealer than they are from somebody on Craigslist or Facebook. The upside is dealers, even us quote unquote sleazy used car dealers or sleazy buy here, pay here dealers, in general, they all want to put out a good, fair product, okay? In general, we all have expenses. We bought the car, we cleaned the car up. Almost every car needs some kind of mechanical work. We've marketed the car, we've advertised, and now we're going to sell it, and our expectation is to make a profit. You might find it cheaper on Craigslist or Marketplace from someone, and that person may be a good, honest person, or that person can be a sleazeball. There are no warranties on used cars, so watch out for the sleazeballs. I have customers contact me all the time that bought a car from a sleazeball on Marketplace. Turns out the title wasn't usable, and they end up having to go get a bonded title. They're nervous, they don't know what to do, they have the additional expense. They didn't really save anything. So I'm by no means saying that us used car dealers are perfect, but I'm gonna say that most of the used car dealers that I know are honest folks. They wanna put out a good, solid product, and they want a happy customer. Do buy here, pay here dealers worry about Google reviews? No, not really. Why? Because most people know that they're buying a cheap car, and cheap cars are going to need work. So you can MF us on Google and say we sell piece of crap cars or whatever, but the reality is every dealer gives you the opportunity to get the car inspected independently and decide if it's right for you. I always say there's not a bad car, there's only a car that may not be right for you. Just something to think about. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. I appreciate y'all watching me. Like and subscribe, comment, all those things are very helpful. I have several other videos put on how to do that bonded title we mentioned. If you're new to Texas, how to get your Texas license plates and driver license and all that fun stuff. As I get cars up and running and up for sale, I generally will put walk around videos. So like, subscribe, I appreciate you very much, and y'all have a great day.